Just last week, Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter and CEO of Block Inc., just announced he's firing 4,000 people. He's firing them because, in his own words, the intelligence tools they've built can do more and do it better. And then he said something that I think should get your attention. Within the next year, I believe the majority of companies will reach the same conclusion and make similar structural changes. Not some companies, not a few companies, the majority of companies. If you're a mid-career professional sitting in a corporate job right now, what Jack Dorsey just did is a preview of what's coming to your company, whether you see it or not. Now today, I'm going to break down what actually happened, why it matters, and what you need to do before the same calculation happens to you. I'm Gary Smith. I spent nearly 2 decades in corporate leadership at roles at companies like AIG Financial, ERA Real Estate, and Mercedes-Benz before I transitioned into working for myself in 2019. Now I teach business strategy at the graduate level, and I coach mid-career professionals who are navigating exactly what you're navigating, watching the job market shift in ways that feels fundamentally different than anything we've ever seen before. And here's what I want you to understand. What Jack Dorsey did isn't just an outlier. It's not one tech CEO making an extreme decision. It's a signal, and if you're paying attention, it tells you exactly where this is going to go. So let's go ahead and break this down. Let's start with the facts. Block Inc., the company behind Square, Cash App, Afterpay, had just over 10,000 employees at the end of 2025. This past Thursday, Dorsey announced they're cutting that to just 6,000. That's 4,000 people losing their jobs. And here's what he said in his shareholder letter. A significant smaller team using the tools we're building can do more and do it better. And intelligence tool capabilities are compounding faster every week. Let me translate that. AI is getting so good so fast, we don't need 40% of our workforce anymore. And here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. This wasn't a cost-cutting measure. Dorsey was very clear about that. The business is strong. In fact, in his letter, he wrote, "Our business is strong. Gross profit continues to grow and profitability is improving." So why fire 4,000 people? Because the company realized they could operate more effectively and efficiently with fewer humans and more AI. And then Dorsey said this, and I want you to hear this very carefully. I don't think that we're early to this realization. I think most companies are late. Within the next year, I believe the majority of companies will reach the same conclusion and make similar structural changes. He's not saying Block is ahead of the curve. He's saying they're catching up and everyone else is behind. Now, here's what happened next, and this is important. Block's stock price surged 24% after this announcement. Investors loved this decision. They didn't see 4,000 people as losing their jobs as a problem. They saw it as efficiency. They saw it as a company getting leaner and more profitable by replacing expensive humans with cheaper AI. And that tells you everything you need to know about where this is going. Now, you might be thinking, tech companies always overhire and then cut, right? This is nothing new. And you're right. That's been the pattern for years, right? Companies hire. In fact, companies hire very aggressively during boom times, and then they cut when things slow down. But this is different. And that's why I created the Expertise to Income Assessment. It's a free 3-minute assessment. It measures your readiness to go out on your own across 6 key areas: your expertise, your market demand, your offer, your income potential, client acquisition, and your overall readiness to work for yourself. And here's the thing. When you're done, you get a personalized score. You get instant feedback that shows you exactly where you're strong, where you have some gaps, and what to focus on first. The link's going to be down here for you in the description below. And by the way, Block didn't cut because revenues dropped. They cut because AI made a significant portion of their workforce redundant. And Dorsey was explicit about this, right? He wrote in X, "I could have cut gradually over months or years as this shift plays out. But I'd rather be honest about where we are and act on it now." He's saying this shift is already here. It's not coming, it's happening. And he's right. 2 weeks ago, I shared with you how Microsoft's AI CEO said that white-collar jobs could be automated within the next 12 to 18 months. That was a prediction. I'll link that video at the end of this one, but this is execution. Dorsey just proved this prediction by cutting 40% of his workforce and then replacing them with AI tools. So, what does this actually mean for you? If you're a professional in a corporate job, here's the reality. Your company is having this conversation right now. Maybe not this week, maybe not even this month, but it's coming. Someone in finance or corporate operations, let's say, or HR, they're looking at headcount and they're looking at AI tools and they're doing the math, and the math is pretty simple. If we can get 70% or 80% of the output with 50% of the headcount, why are we paying for 100% of the headcount? That's the calculation. And once that math makes sense, once AI tools are good enough to really close that gap, companies are going to make the same move Block just made. Not all at once, not 40% overnight, but gradually through restructuring, through attrition, through what they call organizational efficiency initiatives. And here's what makes this particularly dangerous for mid-career professionals. You're expensive. If you're a director, a department head, a manager, a regional or market VP, if you're making six figures, you're one of the first people who shows up on the top of that spreadsheet. Not because you're not good at what you do, but because the delta between what you cost and what a combination of junior talent and AI can now deliver, that's getting a whole lot smaller. And when that delta shrinks enough, you become the target. Dorsey said something else in this post. I think this is really telling. He wrote, "I'd rather take a hard, clean action now and build from a position we believe in than manage a slow reduction of people toward the same outcome." In other words, we're going to end up with fewer people either way. We can either do it now and be honest about it, or we can drag it out over 2 years and make everyone miserable. That's the calculation companies are making. And it's not just tech companies. It's every company that has white-collar roles that can be either automated or augmented by AI. Here's what I want you to understand about timing. Right now, you still have a job. You still have a salary. You still have stability. That window where you can prepare for what's coming without the pressure of needing it to work immediately, that's open right now. But it's not going to stay open indefinitely. Jack Dorsey just told you what's coming. He said explicitly that most companies will make similar moves within the next year. That means at most you've got 12 months before this conversation becomes very real at your company. Jack Dorsey just fired 40% of his company because AI tools can do the work better than people can. And he said most companies will reach the same conclusion within the next year. That's not a prediction. That's a plan. And if you're a mid-career professional in a corporate role, your company is going to have that same conversation. It's only a question of whether you're going to be ready when they do. You have expertise. You have judgment. You have relationships. You have credibility that took years to build. Those things don't go away. But the structure that's really been housing them, the job, the title, the salary, that's less permanent than it used to be. And the smartest move that you can make right now is to start building something that exists independent of any employer's decision about whether AI can replace you. And if you're starting to realize that that window to prepare is smaller than you thought, I'd encourage you to take that free 3-minute expertise to income assessment. The link's going to be down here in the description. Go ahead and look for it. You can also book a one-on-one strategy call with me if you want. There'll be a link for that as well. But I recommend you start with the free assessment. You can get your expertise to income score. And when you're done, you're going to get personalized results. That's going to be instant feedback. You can take that and then you can apply it yourself. All right. That's all I have for you today. I'll publish another video in a week.